What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This video we'll try to keep semi-brief, but let's talk Wolf Warrior X, FluidFreeRide, and Kaabo. So right off, I want to start by saying that I have nothing against FluidFreeRide. I think they are a pretty reputable company. I think their customer service is pretty good. And my experience with them is that they've been pretty responsive anytime I've sent them a message. Usually get back with me within 24 hours, sometimes quicker. And I've had people reach out to me via text message as well. So no issues with there. And since I had the issue with the springs on the scooter, or, in my opinion, an issue, they have offered to give me a full refund, which is great. So it's not like they're basically saying, screw you, you're stuck with it, So that's a great benefit right off the bat. So I appreciate FluidFreeRide for that. Now, I do kind of disagree with them on, the issue with the scooter. Their opinion is basically that the way that I'm putting my foot on the back and bouncing on it is an issue. So it's the way that I'm riding the scooter, which I disagree with. I've ridden this scooter, which of course is designed different, as well as other scooters, from entry level to performance level. I've ridden a few different scooters. And like I said, I haven't had this issue with any scooter except this scooter, which also leads me to my next point. All right. So I think that part of the problem is design. So this is a little bit on Kaabo with the way that they design this. So I think this design with the metal frame right here is great, but I think they should have maybe angled it up more, or possibly lifted this part up so that it was higher over the wheel, as opposed to being so close to the wheel right here, which is what's lending to the problem, right? Because then you have these springs in here, which is cool, right? The ride of this scooter is great, as I stated before, and I'll show a clip here in a moment of me riding the scooter on a trail, which I haven't posted that full video yet, but it's some pretty nice terrain. And one thing I will say is the scooter handles great. It handled the terrain great, but I did feel the fender rub a few times when I was going up some hills or coming off of some of the more hilly or rougher terrain. So I'll show a quick clip of that, and we'll finish talking here. Let's see, one way, Tower Loop, 2 miles. All right, we should be able to make it 2 miles. It says to only go one direction. So I guess we'll follow the rules here. Brazos Little Park Trail, blah, blah, blah. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is nice. This is exactly what the Wolf was designed to do right here. I mean, it's taking all these hills with no problem. Talking about testing a scooter, this is, yeah. Here we go. Oh yeah. I had to take that little ramp. Couldn't resist it. Now I see why they tell you to only go one direction. One way. It's a drop right there. Oh, I want to try that. Oh, that was great, man. Oh man, that's beautiful. I love hopping over things. Oh, it's pretty steep grade right there. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Woo! All right, you're oh, almost took that tree. Coming up that hill. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that clip. I had a really pleasurable time riding the Wolf Warrior on that trail, and I must say that of all the trail riding I've done, that has been one of my the greatest experiences I had. Even with being on bikes, I've done some mountain biking and stuff like that, and still it was a different experience using the electric scooter. Quickly, design. Right, so now I already talked about kind of the way that they put this fender on here. I think it should have been higher or angled better or something like that, or they should have had stronger springs. One or two, or I mean, one or both. I mean, either one would have prevented having this issue. Outside of that, the suspension is pretty good on the scooter, and it handles like a dream. So if you look at this scooter though, just for example, because this is the only one that I own. Like I said, I've ridden other, higher end scooters than this one, and I've been on scooters with different designs. So, but this one thing I will say is, see how this fender is affixed here, but it is affixed also to the suspension. So it's all one piece, right? And then they have this other footrest part here that you actually put your foot on. So no matter how you lean on this, how you bounce on it or anything, it doesn't affect anything else, because the fender and the swing arm suspension is all one piece, right? So you never have any potential rub against this part or anything like that, because the shock is right here in the middle, and it separates the deck from the swing arm suspension and the tire. So that is why I say that Kaabo is partly the issue, because of just the design of this. They do have the swing arm here, all right? But then they have this, like I said, this back part that hangs over the rear wheel, and it's just not high enough, or the springs are just not strong enough to support a lot of weight when you're resting your foot back here. So where I do have an issue with some of the things that FluidFreeRide said is the way that I was riding the scooter and the way that I'm resting my foot back here. That is not an issue. When you're riding scooters and you do hills, or you're doing stunts and stuff like that, you place your foot on the back because it's a means of support, and it allows you to be able to control and manipulate the scooter to do certain things. So saying that I should not ride with my foot on the back, I think is not the way to go. However, outside of that, like I said, I do not have an issue with FluidFreeRide. I think they're a great company. I think that what they bring to the scooter community is great, and I appreciate them offering me a full refund on the scooter. So I haven't made a decision on whether or not I want to send it back, or if I just want to learn to ride this one without putting my foot on the back as I'm, on certain terrain or coming off curbs or whatever the case, or if I want to just move up to the big boy Wolf or another scooter. So we'll make that decision here in a moment. I just want to do a brief video, just kind of talk this thing out with you guys, let you know my experience with FluidFreeRide. I have not reached out to Kaabo because I don't think it's necessary at this point. It's not really their issue per se. I mean, the scooter is what it is. So the one thing I will note here is that while talking to FluidFreeRide, and then I went back and watched some other video and stuff like that, I believe that maybe they are telling the truth when they say that the scooters that they sell do have the stiffer springs on it that were updated after the initial batch of scooters came out with the spring issue that was identified. So, I'm not saying that these scooters are from the first batch, or if they are not, I don't really know. But the suspension definitely feels pretty solid. So I mean, it holds pretty well, like I said. But if you bounce on this thing, even without riding on any rough terrain or coming off of a curb or anything like that, it does tend to rub depending on your weight, I guess. And if you come off of a curb as you saw in the prior video, it does rub without you bouncing on it or anything like that. So, you know, that is essentially an issue. But outside of that, like I said, this scooter is great. And, you know, that's pretty much all I had to say. One thing I will say is like the design of this and some of the other non-robot products is you won't have that issue. So you can do whatever you want on this scooter and you will never have a problem with any rub or anything like that. The problem with the rubbing is not just the rubbing itself, but it rubs on the tire, which means that you're gonna lose tread quicker, and that is the problem. So at any rate, I hope this video was helpful to somebody. That's all I have for this video. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Till the next video, guys, be safe out there. Peace.